By now you've probably been seeing them all over the place, especially because they also did a collaboration with X-Way. Yeah, it's the Cloudwheels Hydros. Welcome to the Vapor Trail channel. I'm Tony, and yeah, today we're going to be taking a look at the Hydro wheel from Cloudwheel. Now, like I said, X-Way had already released the Hydro wheel and a collaboration with Cloudwheel, so they're manufactured by them for X-Way. Now, what I discovered, thanks to community member James Titus, who pointed it out on Facebook, the tread pattern on the X-Way version is slightly different than the tread pattern, or maybe a lot different than the tread pattern on the Cloudwheel version of it. I don't know if it's going to make a ton of difference for me because I refuse to ride my board through water. I just really do. These things are not inexpensive. They're pricey, and while they might be IP65 or whatever it is, I never do, so I don't feel a need to test these wheels going through water. Other people have already done that. Not to mention, all we had was rain and water like a month ago, and now it's totally dry here on the beach in North Carolina, so couldn't even find one. I'd have to make a puddle. But just because these wheels are called Hydro doesn't mean that they're only for that. These wheels have extremely good grip to them. They're smaller than the Cloudwheel 120s at 110, which will definitely help with range. They're also not as squishy as the standard Cloudwheels, so that also helps with range. I'll get more into my thoughts on it in just a minute, but first of all, we're going to do a very quick unboxing just so you can see what's inside of the box. I'm going to pop them on my board that I've been using to test wheels because I've got the Omni E-Skate gear drives on there, and well, you can put pretty much any wheel on there. So I'll show you how easy it is to swap the wheels with those gear drives, and then go out for a little bit of a ride, and then I'll give you my impressions. Let's go. All right, I've already ridden these around the neighborhood and stuff, but I thought I'd take a little bit longer ride that's going to involve some different terrains. So we're going to take her out today with the Hydro wheels and see how she does. Grass with a little bit of sand mixed in, not a problem. They slow down a little bit, but that's about it. So on sidewalks, the clack, 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 well, you definitely feel it more on these than you do on the regular Rovers. And hear it too. Well, this is kind of a unique situation because there's so much pollen out here on our roads right now. You can clearly see what the contact patch is on these wheels right now. So ultimately, these wheels, they kind of feel like they're pretty close to a urethane wheel, for me anyways. That's my riding experience on them. They're definitely a little bit softer, and they do help to kick some rocks out of the way, and I was able to go over it's very small pine cones, because those pine cones are a killer if you're on urethanes. But the feel of them feels like a urethane wheel. However, when you're using urethane wheels, they can be pretty slidey, right? You know, I mean, it's pretty easy to get them to slide. These things, man, to me, it feels like they stick like glue, just, and you can hear it just when you're going with these things, just that suction of it sticking. Now the tread that's on them, you might look at that and go, it seems glued on there, or however they adhere them to the core of the wheel. And you might think, oh man, is that gonna peel off there? How's the glue gonna hold and all that kind of stuff? Well, I can tell you that I've been riding the Rover 165Rs for quite some time here, and I've never had a problem with that. Same thing, the tread is kind of adhered onto the wheel itself. So no problems with that. I took them on several different types of terrain, you know, sand, grass, dirt, rocks, all of that kind of stuff. I did notice in grass, they slowed down just a little bit. They slowed the board down a little bit, but they weren't slipping out and all that kind of stuff. And on standard cloud wheels, I will get some slippage, especially on some grass or something like that. Like I said, I didn't take these things through water. I'm sorry, I value my boards just too much to just take it through water to do a test for a YouTube video. I did take it through dirt, and I wanted to show you how these things kick up the dirt and rocks. And then in this same lot, I decided to ride it. Well, it's a little windier out here today than I thought, so I don't know how well you're going to be able to hear me, but got a little dirt lot right here. Let's see if we can just get going on this. See how it does. Alrighty, well, there we go. So as you can see, it dug in right there in the sand. Maybe I wasn't going fast enough or whatever. Little fishtailing and stuff, but it's fun, and it grips a lot better than regular cloud wheels would in this scenario. Well, after I put them on the board, I was like, yeah, they look small, and I tend to like bigger wheels. I like more clearance and all that kind of stuff, but really, I like the wheels. I like them quite a bit. Do I like them more than the standard Rover 120s? No. I actually like... I wish that I could have a combination of the two, the Rover 120 with that tread on there, because the Rover 120s do have a tendency to get a little bit slippery, especially if there's a little bit of moisture. Now, I did hit a couple of patches on the asphalt that were, moist in the morning, because you get the dew and kind of stuff like that, and they didn't slip on those, so that's great. Didn't have my camera at the time. Sometimes I just like to go ride, Overall, I guess it just comes down to what is your preference. Like I say, I'd love to see a combination of that standard Cloudwheel 120 Rover with this type of a tread around it, to get that more grip from it, so I could still get all the squishiness of those wheels, but the tread. So maybe they'll do that. If tread is a concern for you and you think, yeah, I do want to make sure if you're going to be riding in water, you want that water to be going, to the sides or whatever, you might want to look at the X-Way version of it. Cloudwheel makes them both, so they just have different treads. Man, I've got some really cool content coming up here. I've got the X-Way Atlas Pro 4-wheel drive. It's the belt version of it, so we will have that here in the channel. I've got the Meepo V5 that I'm going to put here in the channel very soon. The Defiant 1 from Defiant Board Society is on the way to me, I think first part of May, so I could do a review on that. And M-Board is supposed to be sending me the Endurance to do a review on this summer. So I've got a lot of stuff coming, including 2 more scooter reviews. I got a new guitar. Yeah, if you like any of this stuff, stay tuned. And I just want to thank you sincerely from the bottom of my heart for your support here in the channel. It is amazing. Yeah, the channel's been around since 2013, but content like this has only been on here for about the last year and a half. And the support that I've seen, especially like at places like Eastgate Con, is phenomenal. It's amazing. So you're awesome, and I appreciate you. Well, that's going to do it for this episode. We'll catch you next time on the Vapor Trail channel.